This is a redo from the video I did earlier today. It was too much wind. You can barely understand what I was talking about in that video. So I'm going to try to do a redo of what I was trying to say earlier. The other day, well, first of all, I want to say, brothers and sisters, continue to do your research, and your information will be there. You know. But the other day, I was listening to Tariq Nasheed video, and I didn't really like how he went at Dan Calloway. That was unnecessary, man. I have my disagreements with certain things, but when it comes to history, Dane is way more informative than Tariq. Dane is a historian. Tariq, he is basically surface level. And really, the way he went after the Aboriginal people who identify themselves as American Indians and talking about tribe, was just told me that he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, particularly when it comes to the Aboriginal history and culture. And he shows that he's very ignorant to that. And by him making that comment and then calling himself FBA, a foundation of black, when we are the Aboriginal people. You don't hear them black folks in Australia call themselves no FBA. No, they're the Aboriginal people of that land. And I said this before, all these black groups here, their identity was stolen. Just like in North Africa, just like all through Asia, their identity had been stolen. So I just don't understand why many people can't comprehend that. That's something that it's really easy to comprehend, easy to interpret. But some of our people want to believe that mess that they're just slaves from Africa. Like I had one bozo to go on my page talking about those black people in Europe are just from Africa. Yes, you had people from North Africa and yes, from West Africa, Senegambia. But the point is that there were already Negroes there. White folks came from Central Asia. So you already had Negroes in Europe for the longest of times. So I mentioned before how the mounds here in America, many of them are older than the pyramids of Giza. The other day I read you Dr. Clyde Winter's book. He makes the statements that America's a new world, which he should stop. Because America's not the new world. America's just as the old world as other places, man. How can you be a new world when you have mounds that's older than the pyramids of Giza and the other monumental structures that were here in America that's older than the pyramids of Giza, which is one of the wonders of the world? How can you say that? So we're so confined and we're so constructed to think that everything's African. I said before in another video, those little diminutive black people who you find in Asia, they're Aboriginal to their land. They're not African. But you get people who trying to make them African. You making them foreigners in their own land. I like the black people in Australia. Uncle Rashid was trying to make them African. No, they indigenous to that damn land. Not every single melanated person is African. And all those tribes that were here in America were originally, quote, Negro. And I mentioned before how those Asians and those whites were adopted into those doggone nations. Now, Tariq goes around talking about how they're using white names. The names been changed by white folks. Yeah, but those individuals in those organizations or those nations were Negro. Now, you have some of these Negroes who want to follow a bunch of white folks when putting feathers in their head and go to their little powwows. I'm not down with that. But the original so-called black Americans are the American Indians. We're not African. African's not a race. You mentioned that Africa, his race is Africa. That makes no sense. Africa is a damn continent. And that name is not really even that old, man. But for him to say that tells me he don't really know what the hell he's talking about. Dane is more informative when it comes to history than Tariq is. I tell you all the time, study your history, learn your history, do your full research. Hidden Colors is nice for surface level stuff, but when it comes to deep level stuff, and knowing your true history, no, it doesn't work for me because it is really surface level. It's not getting in tune on all the wars that happen here in America and how that we are the Aboriginal people lost their power here in America. He doesn't get really in depth with that. He used the term black and red Indians. There's no such thing, no black and red Indians. The Indians were also called black. I mean, those red people are just a basic copper color, a brown reddish complexion. That is not red Indians. The people who he's talking about are pale skinned people. So that tells you don't know what the hell he's talking about. The so-called red Indians were so-called black people because they, like I said, the cinnamon, the reddish brown complexion. That's what they had. Some of them had it. So you see some of those on those Egyptian paintings. Some of them Negroes with a reddish hue, a brown reddish hue. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. But he want to go around talking about FBA and he's an African and he's going to attack Aboriginal people. See, I think a lot of these people are afraid of Dan Calloway, him and Umar, because they give out outdated information, give out that typical Black History Month stuff. Who Garrett Morgan, gas mask, first man, black man, flew the plane or created a plane, which is nice information, but that's surface level information. That's not deep seated information, deep rooted information. He talking about in the West Coast, Aboriginal tribe, they were all in the Americas, particularly the Midwest and the Southeast and the Northeast. So he don't know what the hell he's talking about. That's why I tell you to do your own research and do your history. And there's another Negro, I think he's like 50 years old in Georgia, love to just attack Dan Calloway all the time. Like, well, like a lot of these Negroes are afraid of that dude, man, for some reason. Why? Why? You know, and this idiot, he sounds very stupid. One of them stupid, man, he just seems like trying to make a name of himself. And he just keep talking about the slave trade when most of our people already were here. I've mentioned this so many times in my other videos, how the original slaves were the Aboriginal Black Indians here. So we've got a really amnesia on who we truly are. And we listen to people like Tariq Nasheed who want to tell you that he's an African race. There's no such thing. And he gives you surface level information attacking Aboriginal people, saying that they call themselves Aboriginal or some Indian tribe, that they're being stupid to do that when actually your identity was stolen and you taking on some fake ass identity called FBA. You want to call yourself FBA, that's fine, but we're beyond foundational. We are the original. We are the Aboriginal. We are the original people of this planet. It says Tariq, it gives you surface level information. When it comes to history, I'll take Dane. When I want to be entertained, I go to Tariq. But what he said and did was very disrespectful and ignorant, man. Very ignorant. And like I said, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about by Aboriginal history, surface level history. You know, there's more people who get real deep in different contexts. You got the brother Duke of Tears talking about from Moore's perspective. All right. Then you got obviously Dane Calloway, you know, and then other people like Atanchas One, Aboriginal Power, those brothers, Medicine Man, and other people online who are getting more in depth. Obviously, that dude, he doesn't get in depth. He's a clown. And I thought that was very disrespectful and ignorant. But he's showing that he claimed to be African. That's what he said, he's African, which our people aren't African. But if you want to listen to people like that who give you misinformation, then go ahead, man. The guy don't know what the hell he's talking about. All right, brothers and sisters, this is your brother G World 7_D. Continue to do your real research. Continue to find out who you truly are, and you're not descendant of damn African slaves. You are descendant of Aboriginal blacks that were already here, and you mixed in with a lot of the Moorish blacks out of Europe. And there's other you had Asian. You had a trade with black people from Africa, yes, but we're not quote African. There's always a connection to various different other melanated people, but we're not African. And when you hear people like Tariq make the statement he made, like I said, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And unfortunately, a lot of younger people who are very impressionable will listen to him and try to get advice from him when he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, or Umar. All right, brothers and sisters, man. Peace.